I am here with Josiah's World TV once again. We are here with an audio podcast this time because we got to talk about some hot topics that are going on for this week. I want to get into NeNe Leakes. I feel funny about this. NeNe Leakes did an interview recently with a South African media. She did this interview with Glamour South Africa, and she was talking about how she felt ganged up on the reunion of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then she gave the example of being ganged up on. She gave the example of George Floyd. And she said George Floyd was ganged up on physically, and she was ganged up on in a different way. But she aligned herself with George Floyd as far as them both having gotten ganged up on.
I don't know. It's really difficult being on a show in an ensemble like this. It has just been difficult. So I left. I came back because I feel like this is my baby. Like I started this show. And that's when I start to feel a certain kind of way. This is when my blackness show up because, I'm about, respect listen, this is something that I started, respect that, you know what I mean? That does not mean bow down or any of those things. It just means respect, and, I started the show. I feel like I have been here every season and I've given my blood out of my veins. I feel like I've shown up and I've participated and I've done my part. I feel like I've carried my weight. And there are just things that just make me feel like, it makes me feel like I want to quit every week. But again, this is my baby and I want it to be successful and I want to see it go on, but I also want it to be fair treatment across the board.
So is that the reason why you left? Because a lot of people, I think on our side, we're watching the reunion. I think we're on episode 3.
What
so on
season?
episode
Are
3,
you in season 12?
12, yeah. We're in season 12.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, so literally around the same time with you, because I know yours aired 2 weeks ago, the final episode.
Yes, we're done.
Of season 12.
The reunion aired.
So why did you leave the reunion, the part 3, and not come back?
I left at the end of part 2. I was not in part 3 at all. Okay, because again, we are talking about the very negative side of the show that I just don't feel is necessary to do to make a great show. It was just too negative. 1, 2, I felt very ganged up on. And for all of you out there who can say they don't know what ganged up on is, Google the definition of gang up. Gang up is more than one person on a person at the same time. George Floyd was ganged up on. So no, he was physically ganged up on. And I have felt verbally ganged up on many times, and that is not fair to me. And I've asked for that to not happen constantly, and it has continued over and over again. Now, if you and I are battling verbally, you and I are battling verbally. I can't say that someone won't jump in and say something. I'm not saying that. But when it's 3 and 4 people, and when this show has 5 and 6 women on it who are supposed to be showing their lives and their business and their highs and their lows, why am I being the only person attacked here? Why am I the only person that everything is being directed to? Okay? Everybody on this cast is being paid. So everybody needs to carry their weight. Okay? I don't think it's fair to put the weight on the shoulders of one person. If I need to carry the weight of the entire show, then I need you to give me everyone's check. Okay? And I need you to be fair about my check and my pay. Okay? Since I am the one that's constantly being attacked, I am the one that is always, everybody's got to gang up on. And also, it's not fun being ganged up on. And the one thing I can't stand is for people to be like, oh, what? She wasn't ganged up on. She's saying this. Listen, I always can hold my weight. That's not a problem. But the gang up part, it's not a fair thing to do to somebody. Because people, when you constantly do that, on television to one person, you may not understand. It doesn't matter how tough they appear on the outside. You don't know what you might be doing to them on the inside. You also may not understand or know that you may be doing something very mental to them that I just don't think is fair to do. And it doesn't matter the age. As I've said to many people, you wouldn't want your child to go to school and 3 or 4 people are aiming their gun and saying all these nasty verbal things to them constantly. It's not a fair thing to do. It's not a right thing to do. So that's why I closed my computer. And looks like I closed it at the right time. Black Lives Matter. Busted right after that. Life matter, honey. Okay.
Yes, it does. So what did you say? Do you have a favorite season from the show? Do you have one season?
Well, understand this. Let me say this about this season. I didn't think this was a bad season for me. I honestly did not. I did not think season 12 was a bad season for me. It may not have been the best of all of the seasons that I've been in, but it certainly wasn't a bad season for me. I felt like I wanted to come in and make amends. Sometimes, again, when I said to you earlier that there are people who are posting and talking about Black Lives Matter and they don't understand the message, and I said they need to understand the message, okay? Yes. Remember that? So I felt like when I came back in season 12, there were some things that I just didn't understand. Like maybe I hurt someone's feeling and did not really understand how or why I did that. So I wanted to come back in this season and make amends with people and apologize to those people I felt I owed an apology to, and offer olive branches to people I felt I owed an olive branch to. And I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. And so once I was able to understand, I had a life coach that was explaining things to me. When I understood, like I said, understand the message. Once I understood what I needed to do, I came here to do the work that I needed to do.
I feel a way about that because this man, he lost his life. Like, we're not talking about a reality TV show and, these girls don't like me. Like, this man lost his life. And for NeNe to compare her situation with Candy and Portia and Kenya and the rest of the girls with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, for her to compare that to George Floyd, I felt like was wrong. Like, morally, there's a problem with that. If you're comparing your situation and you're still alive, and you're comparing your situation to George Floyd, I have a problem with that.
I love NeNe, but when it comes to her, sometimes she needs to be careful what she says, especially when it comes to situation. I have never seen NeNe to be a political person, especially a person versus Portia, a person like more to the forefront when it comes to the movement and everything. Right. So when it comes to stuff like that, she needs to just shut up because she's more better with reality TV. And then for her to go ahead and compare George Floyd's situation to that is out this world. It's absurd.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. Yes. Are you serious? That's the question. Girl, are you serious? Like, you're still alive, you're a multi-millionaire, and you want to compare getting ganged up on by your castmates on reality TV. You want to compare that to somebody losing their life in the street at the hands of a cop? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So Loni Love, in her new memoir, I Tried to Change So You Don't Have To, talked about a time when she was actually arrested over stolen soda. She said she went to college in Texas in the 1990s, and one night, after working all weekend as a cashier, she and her friend Keisha went out dancing, and on their way back to the campus, they stopped at a Mexican restaurant. And in her book, Loni Love remembers paying for her food when she caught sight of her friend Keisha being yanked away and placed in handcuffs by a police officer. And when Loni asked what was going on, the cop accused Keisha of filling up a free water cup with soda. And when she tried to intervene, she was put under arrest too. And one of her sorority sisters had to bail her out of jail. And she says, fortunately, she was able to make it out, take probation, and get the felony expunged from her record. But she said she could have gotten hurt if it wasn't for the grace of God.
Loni is not my favorite person on the reel. But I applaud Loni, and I thank Loni for opening up about this situation, because this happens every day in America. This is America, you know. This happens every day, and I'm happy that she was open and transparent about that situation.
I know Loni Love is not a lot of people's favorite person as far as her hosting the Reel. I know she says things that are questionable sometimes. But, you know, I did a video on Loni Love before. And that's when I did my research into her history, how she was, you know, she's from the project and she built her way up. Like, she's the definition of self-made. Whether people think she's funny or not, like, she's getting the bag. She's doing what she needs to do. And to me, I feel like if this had happened to a lot of other people who may not have been as strong as her, they might have quit college. Like, this happened in the middle of her college experience. And I know for a lot of people, if they got a felony, if they got a felony in, they're halfway across the country and they get a felony in the middle of their college experience. I know a lot of people might have quit college, or, you know, it might have impacted them in a different way. So I really respect the fact that she didn't quit school over this, and that, you know, even though she had to spend her own money to get the felony off her record, you know, she did. You know what I'm saying? She did that.